Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Marathon Mondays with Mal Williams here in downtown Coburg, Oregon. Coburg is the small community where Marathon Coach headquarters is located. We talk about it a lot, and we've been here before. This is Nana's Cafe, also known as Coburg Pizza Company, and we decided to start today's show by driving down here. And today's going to be a fun one. It's the week before Christmas and a couple of days before my wife's birthday. My wife, happy birthday.
Is she watching?
She is watching.
Okay.
So happy birthday, Blake.
Happy birthday.
So here's the deal. We've got the co-host of Marathon Mondays, Dave Bash, with us. And we are going to do some rookie driving training, or training a rookie driver with Mickey Markovich from our marketing staff. We've talked a lot about getting behind the wheel, something that Dave has been training me on myself, but we're going to get Mickey, who hasn't done a lot of training. She has been behind the wheel, I believe, of a smaller motorhome, but nothing like a 45-foot Prevost Marathon Coach. So let's head on inside. Thanks for joining us. While we're rolling along, feel free to ask questions, make comments, and we're going to go back to the Marathon Coach location, and we're going to get Mickey behind the wheel once we're there, and Dave's going to start from the ground up with some training. You ready to go, Dave?
I am.
Woo! Let's do it. I guess I'll get it. So, we are using Coach 1270 as our training bus this morning, and as you can see, the slides are already pushed in, and we are ready to head down the street. We just drove down here to start in a scenic location, which would be Coburg. Hey, Dave?
Yes.
Should we drive by the gazebo in the middle of town and show everyone all the Christmas decorations?
We can.
That's kind of the beauty behind going live. We have the opportunity to show everybody. Sarah's here, everybody.
Hello.
So we've brought the marketing team, and Mickey is nervously waiting to get behind the wheel.
And watching all the comments.
And watching all the
comments
comments.
roll in.
Excellent.
Everybody ready to move?
I think we're ready. I
You wanna
am.
sit here?
Yeah, let me sit there because I want to talk to our viewers about some emails. Thank you, Sarah. So yeah, Nana's Cafe, also known as Coburg Pizza Company. If you're in the Eugene or Coburg area, if you're here for service, if you're here to look at a coach, if you come to the daily tour of our production facility, it's a great place to come and get breakfast or lunch. So, downtown Coburg. What do you think, Dave?
It's a small town, but it's got character.
It does. Has a lot of character, a lot of antique shops, and it's known for its annual antique show. They have an antique festival kind of going on every summer.
Many antique shops.
Yes. And it's right off of I-5, and it's about 2 minutes from the production facility of Marathon. There, right there, is some of the antique shops, and I think if we can drive up one block and show them the decorations up here in Town Square, it's not quite a Thomas Kincaid town, but it's a very nice little town here.
Looks better at night.
Yes. So there it is. It does look better at night. You got Santa on a Harley. Well, what are you going to do? Some really good restaurants. The Bronco Saloon is a spot where a lot of Marathon Coach owners and a lot of employees like to come if they've got the time to come down and have lunch. So this is Coburg, and I think we're going to head back from here down to the plant. Yeah. So Dave, how was your weekend?
It was good.
What'd you guys do?
Christmas decorations inside the house.
Oh, decorating the house inside. You know, we started that a couple weeks ago, and we're continuing to do it. A couple more antique shops up here that you can really check out decorated. Retro Rejuvenation, that's my favorite shop here in town. Kind of a mid-century modern 1950s, 1960s vintage shop. No record albums. Todd, our cameraman, is a vinyl record hound. So Todd collects vinyl, but I will tell you that they don't have vinyl in Retro Rejuvenation. So as we're driving, I want to thank everybody who has done some communication with us over a couple of weeks ago. I said, hey, throw us your ideas. If you have ideas for upcoming Marathon Monday shows, let us know. And someone just let it flow, and I got lots of great emails. So thanks to everybody who sent those emails. Let's go over these. Gerald LaChance, thanks for your email. We're looking at some of your ideas there. Chris Williams in Dayton, Ohio. He had some really good comments and ideas. Richard Littler, he watches the show a lot. Wants to see the difference inside and outside a coach, new and a new coach and sort of a pre-owned coach. So we were talking about that this morning, just kind of a comparison show. That would be really neat. Let's see, what else do I got here? Jared Holt. Jared was talking about the Prevost plant up in Canada. So, and he says Al Christensen looks like Keith Olbermann. But really wanted to highlight Robert Joyce. Robert Joyce is someone who watches our show and contributes quite often with questions and comments. And so I know Robert's probably watching right now. So Robert sent me a very good email, a lengthy email, making it easy for us because there are some incredibly good ideas. I won't give them all to you, but some of Robert's ideas are washing a coach. You know, when you have a beautiful coach like a Marathon, you want to keep it clean. But how do you do that, and how do you do that properly? So that's one idea he had for a show. Service intervals. Our service department is one of the best as we pull in right by the service department. He's asking if there's a Marathon store. We do have a boutique here at the location. And I was informed this morning that a few items are going to be going online fairly soon on our new Marathon website. So, and then what are the limitations, or are there any limitations of upgrades to a pre-owned coach? These are great topics.
Yeah, they are.
Great topics. And he gave me a total of lucky 13 ideas to do. So to all of you, and especially Robert, who's a retired Navy, I believe. Thank you so much for all your contributions. We're going to put those on the dry erase board up in Pete Sutton's office so the marketing team can take a look at it and we can go over it. So here we are back at the Marathon location where we're going to, you can see the campsites out here. Camp Marathon, if you will.
We'll start out front with Mickey.
Okay.
Not getting nervous, are you, Mickey?
I am nervous, but I am also very excited.
Mickey's excited and nervous. So, do we have any comments or questions before you get behind the wheel?
Yeah, we have Emery who says good morning from South Texas.
South Texas, good morning, Emery.
Kenneth, great job, Mal. Happy holidays. Jeffrey, good morning, everyone from New York City. Gerald, good morning from New Hampshire. Karen, good morning from Clovis, California.
Clovis.
Kenneth from Lafayette, Louisiana. Reginald from Las Vegas. Lee from East Tennessee. We have Juwan, who says he likes to drive around and look at Christmas decorations.
Yeah, we did. My wife loves that too. Looking at decorations.
You do that at night.
Yeah, going and looking at Christmas decorations. You got to do it at night, but since we're a 9 a.m. Pacific show, we could do a night show. Got to pull
do a special edition.
We should special edition late nights.
We have Chris who reminds us that there's no watching and driving.
That's right.
Thank you, Chris. Bruce who says good morning, Marathon.
Good morning, Bruce.
Morning Marathon Mondays with Mal. Gerald says he'll send you his address so you can park it in his driveway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then Aldo talks about how his friend Jerry watches you every Monday, and he has some questions about gas tanks being customized that you can answer at another time. And Kathy says, good morning from Dallas.
And good morning, Kathy from Dallas. All of your comments and questions, we really appreciate it. Thank you for watching every Monday morning, you guys. So keep them coming, and don't forget, if you have a private message for me or a question that's a little bit more in-depth, Mal W, that's MALW at marathoncoach.com. So before we get started, there was we want to talk about next week. Actually, the next 2 weeks are going to be filmed episodes. We don't want to miss a Monday, and we don't want you to miss a Monday with Marathon. So we got together, we did a couple of filmed episodes. One of them we're actually working on today, and I think later this week we'll work on our New Year's show. But we are going to do a Christmas show where we get to, in fact, let me show you. Let's turn around here, Todd. Check out this beautiful painting. So, Marathon's owner had these Santa Claus paintings commissioned every year for our annual Christmas card. And so, at some point we realized we have well over 10 of these custom painted, real oil painting Santa Claus. And as you can see, he's behind the wheel of a Marathon. He's got a Marathon cup here. He's on his CB radio. He's looking back. Look at the beautiful snow. And as you can see, it's a real mounted on canvas oil painting. But what we're going to do is we're going to get with Steve Shellhorn, our owner, and talk about those paintings. We're going to talk about the significance of Marathon and the Christmas traditions that Marathon has and that Steve and his family have. And then we're going to go around the building and talk to everybody, kind of like what we did for Thanksgiving, but we're going to go around and talk about holiday traditions, Christmas traditions, and just kind of get everyone's perspective as we lead into the Christmas weekend, considering it's on Monday. But anyway, that's what we're going to do for a filmed episode on Christmas morning. It will be there at 9 a.m. And then New Year's Eve, same thing, New Year's Day is Monday. So we're going to have an episode for you because no one's going to be out here at Marathon. We have the gracious opportunity to not be at work, so we will have an episode for you anyway. All right, so let's get down to business here. Mickey, are you ready to go?
Sure.
All right.
But before,
Sure.
since we're talking about families and traditions, I think you should give a special shout out to Mike Perotti because his son Jeremiah is watching and says, tell my dad hello.
So let's talk about Mike Perotti. And thank you so much for saying something, because Mike Perotti was our first episode that we ever did. He was episode 1 of Marathon Mondays. We went into the cabinet shop with Mike. And one thing I want to tell you about Mike Perotti is he has always been, at least to me, so, and I think by all accounts, so open and willing to help at the drop of a hat. I showed you these frames. We needed some new frames for a couple of the prints. Boom, just like that, he got them up to Sarah in a 1 day's notice. And not only that, but this guy used to own restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike did the Thanksgiving dinner for the entire staff. He got a bunch of guys together and headed up the crew. There was a lot of guys that were involved, but Mike Perotti was the one that kind of organized it all.
You know, though, he goes above and beyond work. When I was taking a personal road trip, he's like, you have to meet my sister. She's on your way. I told him, that's ridiculous. I barely know you. Why would I have to meet your sister? Now, I'm friends with his sister, and I've stayed over at her house 3 times on my road trips.
That's a funny
and
story.
He saw that it was a great connection, and he was right. His entire family is amazing.
And that's...
I'm sure Jeremiah is amazing.
And see, that's kind of what, I mean, we're sitting here, we're talking about Marathon as a company, we're talking about Marathon as a product, but you know, when we talk about the family of marathon, that's a great example of it, you know. And sorry to go off on a tangent, everybody, but that's what we do here at Marathon Mondays. I mean, and that's the beauty of going live. It's just really cool to have such a close, tight-knit group of people working together to bring such an amazing product. Aside from that, he made an awesome Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
I know you and Sarah and I were talking about it. I didn't plan on eating that much that day. And boy.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Like green bean casserole, I never eat green bean casserole. And I wanted more. Okay, so let's get down to it.
All right.
So with no further ado, I'm going to take a back seat to Dave and Mickey. I'll let you run up there. Todd, if you want
Put
to...
that down somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Take a seat.
All right.
So Dave, from
Yes.
the ground up, you've got a rookie driver.
Never been behind the wheel of a moving coach before, right?
I have driven a small Winnebago
Okay. But not
Once.
really- Once.
once.
All right. Well, she's got her seatbelt on. Okay.
Well, I know
You
what
have a
ride
good
I'm in for.
All right. First thing we're going to do is adjust your seat and get you comfortable in your seat.
All right.
This first button right here, you're going to put air in the seat.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Now, bounce up and down. It's fairly bouncy. I'm going to put this dampener on. Now bounce up and down.
Okay.
Not as bouncy, but you still got an air ride seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels nice.
Now this big wide button right here, put your hand on that. And if you move that up or down, it'll adjust the height of the seat. So you need to just get it where you're comfortable. And it is air, so it does take, after you move it once or one or two clicks, it
Okay.
takes a few seconds to get there.
Now,
All right,
Dave, not
I think
all
this is
coaches
nice.
are that way, correct?
No, just these new ones are like this.
Okay.
This is the nicest seat we've ever put in a coach. And it's got the shoulder harness on it. So
Gotcha.
the other coaches, the older coaches, don't have the shoulder
They've
harness.
got the lab belt.
Right, just the
And
lap.
I'm sure I could have done that a lot more efficiently, but I wanted to feel my options.
That's okay. Now, can you reach the pedals okay?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Brake in. Do you need to go forward or back?
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Well, let me go forward a little bit.
Okay.
Where do I do that?
There's a bar down front here. We're going to just...
All right.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, very good. Next thing we're going to do is adjust your mirrors.
All right.
Now, do that with the joysticks over here. This one will move the main mirror here.
So you're adjusting the mirrors
Yeah.
before even
Okay.
putting
Got
it into
mirrors on
park.
both sides of the coach, so...
Okay.
Now, the main thing about the mirrors I want you to understand, you can move them at any time, even while you're driving. If you're trying to go around an obstacle, you can move it at that time to see that obstacle better if you need to. They're not fixed. They can be moved at any time.
Excellent.
Okay? How's the steering wheel for you?
The
Is it
steering
good?
wheel feels great.
Okay, very good. So, we're all ready. I'm going to have you put your foot on the brake.
All
Hey,
right.
Dave, for recording purposes,
Uh-huh.
can we take the hazards off even though that's
Okay. Hazards is normally a company etiquette. We like to have them on so everybody has clear view of the vehicles as we're driving around the lot, but for this reason we'll take them off. Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
Now, your foot's on the brake.
My foot is on the brake.
Okay, the parking brake, we're going to have you lift up that clear lid and push down with your thumb if you can. And take it off. Push down if you can. Hard. Too hard?
Push hard, Mickey.
Push as hard as you can. I'll get it. Okay.
Okay.
Parking brake is off.
Okay.
Now you want to reach over there to the transmission pad and push the D.
That's fancy.
We're in gear.
That's fancy. I like that. I did not know that's how it was.
Okay. Now you're going to let your foot off the brake and we're going to coast forward. Just a little bit.
You're in?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Next thing I want you to do is put your foot on the brake lightly. See how it feels to stop.
Okay.
Okay? Okay,
Let's
let's
smooth.
do it again.
All right.
Go a little faster this time. You can even put your foot on the accelerator if you want.
Oh.
And then put your foot on the brake again. I just want you to have a feel for how the coach is going to stop.
Okay.
Okay? Very good. Now we're just going to go again. We're going to drive.
I see now why so many of our clients say it's like driving a Suburban, because it was very smooth. I didn't
very
expect
smooth,
that
isn't it?
initially.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm not ready to go racing, but I'm really surprised.
It's pretty smooth, and now we're just going to go around the building. And we want to take the corners wide because we don't know if there's a forklift coming around the corner or a customer coming around there. So
So for those of you who might not know, Dave does a lot of the deliveries, and Dave does a lot of the he does the PDIs, the pre-delivery inspection of all pre-owned coaches that come in, and for the most part does the deliveries all over the country. Dave, you're getting ready to head down to Florida for a customer pretty soon, aren't you?
yeah,
So
after the first of the year.
after the first of the year, he'll be all the way down in Florida. On any given day, there's no telling where Dave's going to be. Customers all over the United States really rely on his expertise, and I know he wouldn't tell you that, but I will.
See the lines here?
Yes.
And then I want you to pull up to the line there and stop. Okay.
All right.
So what is this illustrating, Dave? Is this just...
Well, I'm going to have her back up.
I don't even back up in my own car.
Well, I'm going to show you how easy it is. Just stop when you get to the line there.
Okay.
Now this is where the mirrors come into play.
Okay.
When I took go ahead and push the neutral.
All right.
Keep your foot on the brake. When I went and took my CDL test, the woman that was testing me when I took my CDL test, she said, when you go in the corner, look in both mirrors. When you're in the middle of the corner, look in both mirrors. When you come out of that corner, look in both mirrors.
Okay.
The mirrors are very, very important, so for you to keep track of where you are with the coach. Now we're going to have you push the R for reverse.
I know. I
fine.
know.
Hey, before you do that, I want you to know that Brenda is watching. Brenda Kraft is watching you.
Hi, Brenda.
And she says, "Go, Mickey, go."
This should be you.
Okay. So you push the R. Now,
Okay.
you've got the mirrors and you've got the backup camera here.
Yes.
But I'm going to give you a good clue. See the steering wheel here? It's
Yes.
straight. If you
Yes.
keep that steering wheel straight, you will back up straight.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
I just want you to back up. Look in all three places, see if it's clear, and then back up at your leisure.
So as you're backing up, Dave, what are you having her look at?
I'm just,
Everything.
yeah.
Both
Everything.
sides of the mirrors and the
She's
backup
looking
camera?
at both mirrors and the backup camera, make sure there's no obstacles that she's going to hit. Okay. That's all. I just wanted you to back up.
So Dave, at this point, let me ask you this.
Okay.
In what case would you need a ground guide? Is it where you don't have confidence in...
Well, it depends on the driver and depends on the people that, I mean, your surroundings.
Right.
If you're backing up into a space, which we're going to do later on, we're going to back you up into a space out in the campground here a little bit later on. Yeah, you'll be fine. And it just depends on how many obstacles. Now, we're going to pick a space where there's not going to be any obstacles out
Sure.
there. I'm just going to have her back up into a space like she would be parking a coach.
Okay.
But
Well, perhaps after this, I'll be able to back up my car.
there you go.
We'll see.
Well, and coming from a military background, we always had to have
Spotters.
spotters and background guides.
See up here where the propane tank is?
Yes.
And the next tower next to that?
Yes.
The little, go between those, please. You can do that. Now, I'm going to give you a clue. You're closer to that side of the coach. You're going to have better judgment of that sign and where that hose is there. And you can go slow. You don't have to go fast.
Okay.
Okay?
I thought we were friends.
We are friends.
Okay.
You're going to be just fine. But this is, I'm going to show you why we're doing this once we get there. When you get that pole that says drinkable water right next to that window, I want you to stop, okay?
Okay. Just double checking the brakes, you know.
That's fine.
I'm new here to the steering wheel.
Okay, stop. All right. Now go ahead and put it in neutral.
Let's see this out here.
Can you pull the parking brake on? Just grab the whole thing and pull it up. There you go. All right. Now, I'm going to show you how close you are here. See that post right there?
Yes.
Okay. You see that post over there?
Yes.
I just want you to get a feel for where you are with the coach. Now, what I'm going to tell you though, the coach is a lot closer to you. You can judge on that side of the coach a lot better than you can on this
Right.
side. So if you stay closer to that side of the coach with whatever obstacle you're going through, you'll have better judgment over there. If you're close to that but you still miss it, you're most likely going to be okay over here. Now that will change with different places you go, but that's where you've got the better judgment. So if you stay close without hitting it, you're probably going to be okay. So can you take the parking brake off now?
I'm not sure.
We can back up the seat if you need.
Use 2 thumbs.
Here,
You
let's
know,
do
the parking
this.
brake is the most difficult thing
That's
that
right.
I have going on.
It can be hard sometimes. Okay, you got it.
You got it.
All
Very
right.
good. Okay, we'll move the seat back up for you.
I mean, the parking brake has been the only thing
Put your foot on the brake.
that's challenging. And since that's a safety feature, if that's my biggest challenge, this is
you're gonna
fantastic.
Be good. Okay. Push the D again.
Okay.
Now we're just gonna go forward. And we're gonna go all the way around the building one time.
It must be 9 a.m. because Perry Mason is on TV
Is he?
back here. Yeah.
Go around the building.
Let's
here
go
or
out
do-
here.
Okay.
And you can put a little accelerator there if you want.
Let's go. Zip, zip.
So a couple of comments here as Mickey makes her way around the campground here. Our buddy Robert Joyce asked if Dave will deliver the coaches to the residents and give lessons.
Yeah,
So that's a major benefit of purchasing
Yeah.
a marathon coach is you get to spend time with you, Dave. I mean, that's one thing, you know, whether it be a couple of days or, I mean, you've done deliveries that take a long time, haven't you?
yeah, sometimes.
So yes, that's one of the things about buying a marathon coach is you get a tutorial as long as you need to feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Another question was, what about backup sensors on these coaches?
There's a backup alarm when you put it in reverse. There's a beeper that comes on, just like most big trucks. But as far as sensors, you got the backup camera, and that's pretty much it.
You got the backup
You got
camera,
the
you got side
mirrors, and the
cameras.
backup camera. You got side cameras too. But there's no real sensors for
Right.
backing up.
Yeah, it's not going to be like your Volkswagen Touareg that has sensors that
No.
let you know you're 10 feet from the wall.
Right.
You have cameras that help you along the way.
Right.
And also, Reginald asked if we could have an outside angle of Mickey driving, and we talked about that before shooting. But the factor is we want to get the dialogue between you and Mickey. So we're gonna stay in here.
Okay.
But thanks for the comments, everybody. Oh, and Phil Hagen, Alan Hagen's father, is watching.
Oh, really? Well, I have to tell Alan. I wonder if Alan's probably not watching. He's inside working.
He's probably working. Alan Hagen, you guys, is the head of our quality control department here at Marathon.
And it's absolutely amazing.
He's a great guy. He's been with us a long time.
How are you feeling, Mickey?
I'm feeling all right. I'm
Good.
nervous about backing into anything because, like I said, I don't do that with my car. But otherwise, this is fun. I'm feeling great.
We've had some people get behind the wheel that've been absolutely ecstatic when they get done. They can drive a coach.
And I think that's the basis of why we wanted to do this show this morning, is to show that the comfort, the ease,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lot of people get intimidated by a
Same place.
45 footer.
Okay. It's so smooth. Oh, there's Cody. Hi, Cody.
He's running. Okay,
That's
we're going-
Cody from our shipping receiving.
Yes. We're going through the same place. I want you to stay a little further left if you can this time. And we're not in any hurry.
No, that's fantastic.
got a nice
Yeah.
got a nice
Same
Same
comment.
as you were last time.
Okay.
But
Well, I'm
we're
consistent.
Very good. Good job. Yeah.
Kathy says, "I love this.
Okay.
Never watch anyone learning
Slow.
to drive one. I can do this."
We're gonna
Good
go over,
job,
see the
Mickey.
sign over here.
If I can do it, Kathy, you definitely can. And thank you for the support.
Go
Yes.
towards the sign over here.
Okay.
Now the exercise here, we've got this line that goes all the way around this corner.
Okay.
I want you to take that mirror and put it
Alright.
right over the line once we get past the sign.
Okay.
So, Dave, what are you illustrating with this? Now, I know you've done this exercise with me before in the coach. Why don't you tell everybody what you're illustrating with this?
Well, we're going to keep that mirror over this line and go all the way around the corner. It's an exercise in letting the person driving know where the rear of the coach is going to follow. 45 or 40 feet behind us is where... Okay, stop for a second, Mickey. The pivot point on the coach, good point for you to know, is the drive wheels.
Okay.
That's where the coach is going to pivot. That's where the drive wheels are.
What are drive wheels?
The dualies back here,
Okay.
you've got the front tires, the drive tires, and then the tag tires. The tag tires or the rear tires are there for weight support. But the drive tires is where the majority of the weight is, and where the coach, when you turn, that's the drive tires where the coach is going to pivot.
Okay.
Right now, this exercise, I'm going to have you keep that mirror over the line. We're going to go all the way around the corner. When we start going around the corner, you'll see the rear of the coach go away from the line.
Okay.
So this is going to give you a little bit of an idea when you're turning how the coach is going to follow around that corner. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
And we don't have to do it fast. We can do it slow, whatever you're comfortable with.
Thank you. You're a really good teacher, Dave.
So far.
And brave.
Oh, there's not a lot we can get in trouble with here.
So you think.
Now, can you see the rear of the coach?
Yeah.
How far away from that
Yeah.
line it's going? It goes away quite a bit, doesn't it?
It does.
So if you're in the middle of some traffic somewhere and you had to make a tight turn, like downtown Eugene where I did my CDL test.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Okay, go over towards my truck over there.
This is a good exercise. Let's,
And trusting.
We're just going to go over here and turn around and go back the other way around that corner.
So,
Yeah, just go up
Okay.
here and somewhere and turn around. Now there's a lever behind the parking brake. Can you pull that forward, please?
the lever behind the parking brake.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's the tag axle. When we're turning tight and slow, we bring the tag axle up. It helps so that we don't drag the tag tires sideways when we're going around a tight corner. Now you're going to keep that same mirror over that line again.
Okay.
But this time the rear of the coach is going to go over the line.
Do
Go ahead,
I?
go ahead and put the tag axle back.
Okay.
Okay. So just take that mirror right over the line.
Robert Joyce mentions that when we were driving around the backside, there's a blue coach with kind of a scenic
Mr.
paint
Mr.
scheme
Evers
to it,
Yeah.
and he did not know that we actually did those. The bottom line with Marathon is we'll do whatever a custom order is.
Yeah.
You know, if a customer wants whatever the customer wants is what we'll paint on the side of their
right.
coach.
And that customer, there's if you look closely, if we pass by it again, you'll see horses in the clouds of that coach.
Oh, they're in the clouds
Yeah.
too. Okay.
Okay, now we've got an obstacle coming up here.
Okay.
I want you to go close to it. And I want you to just go past it until you can see that sign in your rear mirror over there.
Okay.
Don't start turning yet. Now start turning.
Okay.
Can you see the mirror? Or in the
I can see.
you
Yeah.
can see the rear wheels?
Yes. They're so close.
If you go straight, you'll get by it. Now start turning again. Turn left.
Okay.
Can you see your drive wheels?
Well, no.
Okay. But those drive wheels, that's 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 what you've got to get past any obstacle you're going to take. Now keep turning left. We're going to go around the building again.
Okay.
But any obstacle you come up to, the drive wheels is what you've got to get past that obstacle.
So you need to make
That's
sure that
where
your
the
drive
pivots
wheels
must be.
are at or beyond the
Yeah.
obstacle prior to turning.
That's correct.
Okay.
So we're just going to go around the building again.
Okay. I like going around the building.
Well, you're feeling pretty comfortable, aren't you?
I am,
Okay.
yes. But also, I know that backing up is in my future.
Yes, it is.
But so,
As soon as
I
we
mean,
get around
this is
the
very
building again.
comfortable.
Okay. See how fast you can get going. No, I'm just kidding.
That's about as fast as. I mean, Steve is here somewhere, right?
No, they're having senior ops. They're not even here.
Oh.
And so there's a few pre-owned coaches right in front of us.
Yeah.
What do we got there? We got 1150. We got
Well, we got this one's 952.
952.
Next one's 1151. And then the next one after that is a non-slide H 650.
All three of those are for sale, everybody. So if you're interested, you know how to get a hold of me. But boy, I tell you, there's that 1151 bunk coaches and 2 sleeper sofas, very similar to the coach we're in right now, 1270. Although that's an H and this is an X. Sleeper sofas that go down, 2 bunks and a king-size bed. You can sleep a lot of grandkids, or get everybody in the coach for a getaway. I had to say something about selling.
Well, but most people don't want other people to know how many people
How many people
coaches
can
sleep.
Oh, you've got room. You've got 2 sleeper sofas. Oh, the dogs are using those this weekend.
Yeah. Sorry, we don't have room today.
That's right. And then as we go down the backside again, like Robert mentioned, you'll see these are customer-owned coaches that are in here for service. And you can also see that paint scheme one more time.
On the side of the coach, I think on the back of the coach, I don't know. On the side of the coach, though, there's horses in the clouds.
It's pretty.
It's on that other side. Okay, making one more time through the...
You really like this space,
Well,
Right through the uprights.
I want you to get a little bit closer to the left this time.
but I'm consistent.
You are, so far.
Yeah, Brenda says don't hit the propane tank.
Tell her I'm very aware of where it is.
That's why those poles are there.
I mean, I'm not sure why
You're
I'm doing
fine.
this.
You're doing fine. Don't go to the right anymore. Stay left. Maybe a little farther left. But okay, keep going.
Well, I got to tell you guys, Dave gives a lot of confidence when driving. Right after I got my my driver's permit for the CDL, Dave and I were down in the Los Angeles area, and I got to drive all the way from the LA Beverly Hills all the way back up. You know, I did a portion of the driving. Dave did a lot of the driving, but I got to get behind the wheel for several hundred miles, and it was a good experience. And Dave is absolutely the best at giving you confidence and making you feel, understanding the importance of watching your mirrors. And
Thank you.
So it was great.
All right, I want you to pick a spot. Any spot.
All right, let's pick 17.
Okay. Now stop.
Okay.
Once you get at a 90-degree angle with what space you want to go, I want you to start turning the wheel to the right, all the way to the right. I'm going to show you how tight the coach turns, but that's going to line you basically up to where you want to go. See, what you're going to do when you back into space 17 there, you're going to put that line right down the side of the coach. You're going to back it up parallel to that line.
Okay.
So, go ahead. Go ahead and start turning. All the way to the right.
from it now.
It's all right. But watching that mirror, you'll start lining up with that line. Keep going.
Sorry, guys.
You're all right. Now see the line over here?
Yes.
That's the line you're going to back up to.
Okay.
Okay. So now you can push the R. And you're going to start turning the other way. And line the side of the coach up with that line. Okay, stop for a second. Can you see your rear wheels?
Yes.
You can.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
Well, you can adjust your mirror if you need to. And you can adjust that at any time. Maybe take it in tighter than the coach. There you go. Can you see good there? Wherever's good for you. I want you to feel comfortable with backing up the coach.
Okay.
Okay? Now, you know where you're going, right?
That space right
Over
there.
here, yes.
And I'm trying to get.
You're trying to line the rear wheels
Mhm.
right up on that line over there.
Okay.
And stick it straight down the line. So go ahead.
Okay.
Go the other way. There you go. Okay, stop turning. Let's just line it up. Line the side of the coach up. Just go back. Keep going. See, we're lining up with this line over here.
Okay.
Right? Space 17.
You know,
The other way.
I really don't back up my own car.
That's
And
all right.
the first car I owned didn't even have reverse
Okay.
for 2 years.
All right.
So
Just keep going. You're
this
fine.
is reversing is very
It's okay.
fresh for me.
All right. Let's pull back out. Now see what I want you to do. I want you to line the coach up with that line right there.
Okay.
Right on the line. So go out farther. And go a little bit to the left here. Can you try to get the coach line straight up with that line?
I can try.
Okay. If you get it lined up, then all you have to do is back up straight, right?
Well, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
The other way. Yeah, the other way.
The other this way.
Yes.
Okay.
We're taking back the back of the coach close to the line. Keep going. Same way you're going. You're doing good. Okay, go back straight. Go straight. Up. A little bit more like this.
Okay.
So you want to get the coach straight with that line.
Okay.
Keep going back.
Okay.
Now we're going to line it up a little bit. See what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to come right in close to it. Okay, now we need to turn the steering wheel straight, so we're going straight with the line. The other way. Okay. And the back of the coach will hit that bumper. I don't know if you'll be able to feel that or not. I think it just hit.
Okay.
I mean, not the back of the coach, the rear wheels.
Right. Right. I knew
You
what
didn't
you
hit
meant.
anything. Okay.
All right.
All right.
It's-
So, Dave, when you're backing up, what are the main things that you're looking for? You're lining up that line.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have lines
Mhm.
like the marathon campground does,
Sure.
so you're just basically if you see the line in your
Mhm.
mirror and your wheels are straight, you just back straight up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she did a pretty good job here. So we could get a little bit straighter, but for our first times, that's pretty good.
That's good.
So
And I have spent most of my life avoiding
backing up.
backing up. I'm not kidding.
We need to get you so you can back up. But, this is the first time driving a coach. And who knows? I advise most of the wives don't drive the coaches.
Sure.
We have a few customers that the wife does all the driving because the man can't.
Right.
And she takes care of a lot of stuff in the coach. But in case of emergency, wouldn't it be better if the wife at least knew how
Well,
to
everybody
drive a coach? Everybody should know how to drive a coach if they're in a coach. So,
Right.
and it's really easy to drive a coach, right?
Yeah, it was
It
really
is.
smooth.
Okay, we're going to go back up to the front of the building now.
All right.
But yeah, in an emergency situation, you need to at least know a little bit about what you need to do.
Sure.
Getting behind the wheel.
And aside from backing up, which I don't do in my everyday life anyway, this has been a lot of fun and really smooth.
Pretty easy to drive, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's comfortable.
So now, of all your advertising crew, you're the most qualified to drive a coach. Because you've got the most time behind the wheel.
Yay! Well, and since I write about them so much, it's good to get behind the wheel, which is the main reason that I wanted to do this. If you can,
Sure.
And I guess we could mention that now for those of you who don't know, Mickey is our staff writer and the main contributor to the marathon. Well, is it a quarterly magazine? The Maritime?
It depends on the year, but we strive to put out 2. We do the supersized issues now, and we strive to put out 2 issues a year.
Okay.
Am I stopping or going around?
You can
I'll go around
if you want.
We got time. It's a live show.
I like going forward.
I could give you another challenge. No, I won't do that.
Dave,
You were just being unhappy.
I was just really reveling in what I'm comfortable in and how enjoyable this is. The seat is comfortable.
Okay, see that row of
Everything
cars right
feels
there?
nice.
No, never mind. Let's just go around the village.
I'm wondering if some of the employees knew what was going on right now, how comfortable they would be. But
Oh, they'd be fine. I do this all the time, but really they don't know.
and this is, I've talked to a lot of people who didn't realize that this is a service
Sure.
that you'll provide. If you're here and a couple comes in, I know of a handful of clients who want to learn how to drive because, like you said, their husbands do the driving, but they want to be prepared.
Right.
And you're a great teacher.
Well, thank you.
And that's part of purchasing from Marathon. You get that experience, and you get that patience, and you get the time with someone who's got a lot of experience and can answer a lot of questions.
We did. I did a delivery back in Cleveland, Ohio, a couple years ago, and we to meet up with the customer. We met in a Walmart parking lot, and it was snowing.
Oh.
It was great because I had the ground accent lights on, and I had the
pretty.
coach shut off, and it was all white. And had some kids come up in the truck, and wow, that's awesome. But anyways, that's where the customers met me, and we did the same exercise with the customers in the Walmart parking lot with snow.
Oh my goodness. Well, and that's ironic because Adam Armstrong commented on here. How do the coaches perform on snowy roads, Dave?
Oh, tell them about the Nelsons. I mean, they go way out in the snow.
The Nelsons, whose coach is right over there right now, but they dropped off here for service. But yeah, and that's really the only coach that's got the super single tires on it. But the coaches handle well. And one of the things that a lot of people don't think about, if you get into slippery conditions, you take up the tag axle, which is there for weight distribution, but you take up that tag axle and it puts more weight to the drive wheels, give you better traction. And most of our customers don't want to be in those slippery driving conditions, in snow and ice or mud, but some of them find themselves there, and the coaches handle pretty well.
I say we put on a playlist and we go on a road trip.
That's right.
Let's do this.
Before you stop driving there, Mickey, as you see 1151s pulling out down there.
Going over to service, one of the service techs is taking it.
Excellent. It's a good shot of 1151. So everybody, that's a pre-owned coach with 2 sleeper sofas and bunks in it. That's a beautiful coach for
Just
sale.
like this.
Been well maintained. Dave spent a lot of time going over that coach.
Want to pull the parking brake on?
And how did I
Just
do
pull
it
the whole
again?
thing up.
Okay.
So Danielle Brewer says, patiently waiting for the marathon carpool karaoke. I can sing the Love Boat because, boy, I know the lyrics.
I think you owe me that today.
I do.
Uh-oh.
So Let's
Can
do the karaoke.
As we head off with the with my Meryl Steubing impersonation. Check this out, Mickey. This is Robert Joyce is asking how he can get a copy of the Maritime.
He can send me his name and mailing address in a Facebook direct message, or email you.
Just email
and
me, Robert.
We'll get it sent out.
Absolutely. So malw@marathoncoach.com. I know Robert already knows that, but let's briefly talk about the calendar. I know that the calendar is done. It is out.
I haven't forgotten about your karaoke.
I can do it. There is no doubt.
You owe me.
Okay. Tell us about the calendar, and tell us about its readiness for people to see.
How do I do that?
I thought I had one. Didn't I have one?
Yeah, just turn the key off.
Okay.
I put it over here.
So the calendar is beautiful and it's glossy. It's one of the things we're most proud of here at Marathon.
Look at
And
that.
we have a limited number of copies that we can send out to the brand enthusiasts, people who've supported us here, Marathon Mondays with Mal and Facebook and all of our creative efforts. And if you would like a copy, you can email Mal. You can send us your address in a direct Facebook message, and we'll do our best to get you a copy. It's absolutely stunning. The team does an incredible job. And it really is everybody here who's involved, from obviously the craftsmen who design the coaches and create them, to the marketing team who puts it together, to the owner who does the quality control and makes sure everything looks exactly like he wants it to. It's really a beautiful calendar.
There's November, and take a look at this. So, the marketing team really worked on this. I mean, I want to say it was over a week just for this.
I know that I was Christmas shopping in July.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that.
And then
it's completely staged decor-wise for the shoot. And a lot of work in here. And you see right here in the front, you've got the 3 locations of Marathon. You've got Texas, Florida, and of course where we are right now, here in Coburg.
Sarah and I had
All
a
of our
really good time
sponsors.
cleaning up some of the chocolate from that Christmas shoot.
Yes.
Really?
Great.
How'd you clean it up?
You know, the
Eat it-
usual
eat
way.
it up.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, how do you get rid of chocolate after a Christmas shoot?
I give it to my wife and daughters.
Oh, I wasn't that generous.
So that's it right there. This is a really great thing that's highly anticipated. So if you're interested, malw@marathoncoach.com. And any other thoughts or comments on today? How did it feel? Did you enjoy it?
I actually did. This is really comfortable. I tend to take a couple road trips every year.
Sure.
You
take some long road trips.
2,000 to 6,000 mile road trips.
Yeah.
I take once or twice a year, and this is really comfortable. It was really smooth. I would probably still avoid backing up, because I've been successful at that for the vast majority of my life. But it was everything that I had heard it was. It was
Good.
smooth. It was comfortable. It felt great. I'm ready for a road trip.
Absolutely, and that's one thing. Really appreciate your time on this.
No problem.
And if you're a marathon owner, you know about getting the confidence behind the wheel, and that's kind of what we wanted to highlight today, is that it's easy for someone who's never been behind the wheel
Thank you, Dave.
of a Prevost coach to really get a good shot at it. Big thanks to Todd behind the camera. Big thanks to Sarah. There he is right there. And one person that doesn't get mentioned enough, Pete Sutton, who heads up our marketing team. So to all of you, you know that we're going to be we're not going to be live for the next 2 weeks. We already talked about the Christmas show, and we're going to have a New Year's show. So check out those shows. Feel free to email me with any comments or questions. This coach is 1270. It's an X3 double slide. It's for sale. Those guys are for sale. We've got a great inventory at all 3 locations, whether it be Texas, Florida, or Coburg. So if you have any questions or comments and thoughts on any coaches, pre-owned or new, let me know. And yeah, because none of us are going to be live for the next couple weeks, I want to say Merry Christmas from all of us here at Marathon Mondays and Happy New Year. Anything? What's going on?
And it's Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
Happy
Hanukkah.
Holidays. Happy all the days.
Yes. Yeah. If you're whatever you're doing for the last couple weeks of December, be safe, have fun, get in your coach if you have one, and enjoy it. And with that, I'll say love, exciting and new. My wife hears this all the time. Come aboard. We're expecting you. And love. You notice how Dave left?
I did.
Have a good Christmas, everybody. Life's sweetest reward. Let it float. It floats back to you. The love boat.